these are the cards. I used 4 decks. The first card from the, oh, and I even showed all the decks I used, and I'll show them as I introduce the cards. So, the first card from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, pulled 3. So the first one we have is 59, the red and white flower. Then, is that right? 67, sublimation. And then I think that's 48, the despicable face. And then I pulled 3 cards out from the Wild Harmonic Oracle here. Got Air of Shadow, Shadow of Fire. Oh, this one's Unseating Anxiety. A Shadow of Fire, Inflammatory Response. And then a Celestial of Earth, Body Wisdom. Then 2 cards from this deck here, Modern Mythology Oracle. We got Mystical Wendigo of Phases, Have Patience, Darkness Always Precedes the Dawn. A Goddess of Medicine, the gifts of health, hope, and healing are on their way. And then 4 cards from the Tantric Dakini Oracle that I used not too long ago for the chakra reading. This here, I use this spread, the Tree of Life spread, which you can make from the, what is it called? The Celtic Cross. Yeah. You can convert your Celtic Cross into this if you want to make it into, well, for this deck. This has 65 cards, or does it? Yeah, 65 cards. So, I don't know. So I guess you could do it with like regular tarot, or maybe, I don't know. So 4 cards. I was originally thinking of 3, but yeah, no. I was before I think while I was shuffling this one or that one, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to do 4. So, blah, blah. 61 Survival. Then 30 Castles in the Clouds. 27 Magic Carpet. And 57 Temptation. I'm going to go to elements. The last video that I don't want to post, I was looking into these here. So, we got Earth card, Air card, Air card, Earth. Then over here we have Air of Shadow. So these cards do have chakras, kind of. So like the air is a heart. So in a way you can kind of see like heart chakra of shadow. Shadow of solar plexus. And then this one, Celestial's third eye. So third eye of earth, or root chakra. It's like, how do you see it like that? Yeah, I don't think there's elements. So, yeah. Maybe I should say spoiler alert. It's not like anyone's gonna watch my last video, which was a pick a card. But I was kind of talking about revealing the pile. So yeah, if you wanna do, I mean, it's a crappy video, but it's kind of a like, I take the card pull seriously. So even though it was just a pick a card, like I'm still, because there are 3 groups, and I kind of still kind of see through the, I don't know how to explain. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk about pile, I'm gonna say pile 3. the whole masculine and feminine, I don't want to have to explain myself on like what I mean, because it's like you have to be careful. Because okay, so in that reading, I was thinking kind of like what I said, like it might sound like sexist, or I might, because there's one part I was like, I'm not saying you're a girl for the pile that I thought was feminine, but like if you're a girl, if you're not a girl, but you know, it's just and then one of the piles was like, I feel like it's too masculine, but then in a way you kind of think like, how can you be too masculine? But maybe I'm a more like a toxic masculinity, or like not incorporating like being mixing the energies. I don't know. And like when I got to this card, I was thinking, you know, like I think if I see it that way, it's better. Like if I think of like the lion, you're not gonna tell, like the lion is like pretty masculine, right? Leo. And you're gonna tell the lion, hey, you're being too masculine, right? But if you look at it in a way like ego, then yeah, like the lion more as like the true essence, or like still knowing that feminine side. Like I don't know how to now I don't know, now my head's broken. Yeah, another reason why, yeah, I'm gonna, because I'm just gonna show the pile. So if you want to go do that, like you could stop this or just whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna show what I for one of the piles. Oh, it's still over here. Why am I looking over there? So there were 3 piles. Each pile had a color chakra, or no, a color. So one pile had that, another pile had that, and then another pile had that. So this one is the pile I was fitting with the whole masculinity, and this is a sky blue, sky fire, messages, channels, information. I didn't think about it until afterwards. Like, I feel like, yeah, because got sky fire. This is sky blue. And then if I think back to the last rune reading, I was saying there was one rune I was fitting, one rune with the cards I pulled for it, that I was fitting like as a masculine. And why'd I do that? I don't know. Yeah, and they got the hawk. So I keep on bringing that up. Like the hawk is trying to give you messages. So I feel like there's something with air, like the clouds, the sky, something. And it even says it here, messages, channels, information. Like somehow I'm not sure how to explain that, but I really feel like there's something with the, like, okay, so if you're a woman and you need to work out the masculine, or you are a masculine, sure, I don't want to get in that weird debate, but like, you know, let's just say the masculine is, there's something with the clouds, air, and all of these I saw was kind of masculine. Like this survival, this is earth, air, air. Did I already mention that this, I don't think I've ever pulled this card out before, or this, maybe this, but I don't think in any of the videos I have it. When I did this spread, this card did come out on the masculine side. We have the masculine and feminine, so it did come out. I think it was this card here. I'm already forgetting. Was that the 5th position? I'm already forgetting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, or maybe it was I don't know. I'm forgetting. I'm forgetful. But for the emotions or influencing emotions or whatever. So yeah, how things are tying. So I might bring up cards I pulled. Sometimes it just, I don't know how to explain, like, you know, like using these cards to work in with this reading, and sometimes the meaning can change, or I might pull this card later and I'll look at it entirely in a different way. But sometimes I feel like there's still ties into those readings, so I feel like there's still something with this being masculine. And then I just, you know, showed those two, you know, something with the messages, you know what I mean? Now we got fire. 12 minutes in. So yeah, it was weird because as I was shuffling this, I was looking outside my window. I can see like the city, and I was like, is that smog? And then when I pulled this card, I was thinking about the smog, and you know, like the whole, yeah, maybe something with that too needs to be, well, I feel like a lot of stuff, like, I don't need to say, like, a lot of us, like, see, know it kind of, or experienced it, or, you know, some people still need to wake up, or, I'm not saying it's, you know what I mean, like, you know, go to college or work corporate job, blah, 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 you kind of, I feel like there's something with that ego, era of shadow, so heart of shadow, unseating anxiety, like being afraid to break out of that, you know, conformity or thought or way of living or what people told you, like, you know, something like that, and your identity. Shadow, so it's a shadow on the solar plexus. So yeah, maybe like you can see these kind of coming back to your heart, maybe using the magic carpet, castle, because Eric, yeah, so if we look at these, yeah, as, you know, air, like as heart, like coming back to your heart. I was saying, like, yeah, I don't really know, like, I feel like it's not exactly saying to be using that, like, finding messages or whatever in the clouds to exactly use that, like the feminine, like, slash intuition. Yeah, intuition we put more with feminine, and air cards more like logic, but I feel like there's something, I don't know why I'm feeling a different kind of logic, like something, yeah, I had to be careful because it can be like earth shattering, you know, that's why you have shadows. I was saying there's 65 cards in this deck, and the first cards we pull is a shadow, and I think there's less than 20 shadow cards, so it just seemed kind of, yeah. Okay, I'm going on a little too much. I'm going to do the reading, and let me go up here. So yeah, so I was like kind of hitting like, okay, so if this is masculine, then I kind of feel like this is feminine. Right from these two cards, I was already getting, okay, feminine. Yeah, this one, when I first saw it, I was thinking something like Sophia and like Mary Magdalene, like a white and a red, or you could see it as like Saraswati and Lakshmi. Like I kind of felt like the red energy coming in, or like diluting something. Like, that's kind of how I felt like it was. And I was talking recently about Sophia Saraswati, like the rainbow stuff, like kind of coming back briefly. So I feel like now it's like saying, okay, we're gonna bring. It's kind of weird because I was saying the last 3 years, like each year was one of the 3 feminine. You can see that however you want to, but now it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of introducing them back like really fast, maybe, and maybe there'll be a 3rd one, maybe. Yeah, and then I was feeling like the violet was more with the feminine, or neutral, because I'm going to show again, like in this spread, which one was it? Well, in the neutral, the spread I said was like neutral, we got violet. It was like 2-3 years ago that I was feeling like there's something with violet, but like more for the feminine. And so, yeah. And then the despicable face, I kind of felt like that tied kind of with this one. So we could say 3rd eye of earth, like something with, yeah, working through like your soul essence, like you're coming, you know, also made me think of like the blue pearl. And this, yeah, you can kind of see like that's not you blue pearl, that's your like ego. That's, and like telling yourself it's okay. Like everybody has, I'm like starting to think maybe our first video was better because like something, I don't know, maybe not. It's all just horrible. And then the phases here, yeah, especially with this one, healing. So I feel like the top row is more feminine stuff, and then this is more of the masculine stuff. And I'm gonna, so yeah, I'm just gonna read from the book, and then maybe at the end I'll have like a quick summary. Maybe after I read the books, I don't want this to be long. Maybe I'll have more of a, yeah. Sometimes I think that like maybe I should just have a summary at the end of the video, so you don't have to make some blah 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 blah, and then I'll just be like, okay, so basically it's just like this, and then I'm like, okay, thank you for watching. Okay, I will go in order. So let's just go here. So we have the 59 red and white rose. That's not the book for it. This is the book. 59. Did I go right to it? It's part of the $50. $9. Vital force arising awakening says, in the laboratory, the merging of red and white is an exquisite moment. It means something is coming to life before the alchemist's eyes. The pristine white of the roses is not threatened by the blood red pigment. Their mixing does not make pink. Rather, each color remains vibrantly itself, expressing its message. Like the rod of, is it Asclepius? Representing health and vitality, the Phlos sapientum, I don't know, appears to signify the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual, not yet integrated into the everyday. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day. observing it, listening to it, mining it for the information and guidance. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of the body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the like of dancers, athletes, and during birth process. In esoteric yoga practice, one may understand this card as Kundalini raising, or the activation of what in Sanskrit is called the Ida, Pingala, and Shushuna. Is that the word I was looking for the other day? I was looking for that word where you kind of go through the crown or whatever. Okay, wait a second. I gotta think for a minute. Observing the body, soul's purpose. So yeah, it has something with the lion. Yeah, and the blue pearl, and then the faces. Like you can see as like the 3D faces, or like the Let's go to sublimation. So what is that? 58? Or no, 60, 67? Is that 67? 6. This one says elevation, rising, flight. Sublimatio is a great alchemical operation of air. It occurs when there is enough heat to change a solid substance into a gas, causing it to rise up, up, and away. Therefore, when sublimation is present, there is an aspect of celebrated elevation, of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective. Birds and flying, mountain peaks, ladders, and balloons are all sublimatio images. As with all the operations, sublimatio has a shadow potential. Talking about this shadow potential. Through ascension, there is a risk of separating from others, of sensing oneself higher or above. This risk is particularly great in spiritual traditions that offer a linear model of achievement. The divine alchemist rises humbly and supports the upliftment of others, always in touch with the cycle of humanity. Service is a natural balancing agent for sublimatio. It may be the next rung on your ladder. Disassociation is an example of sublimatio in shadow. When this card appears, reconnect with the feelings you'd rather avoid. Be with them rather than rising above them. It's just, I don't know. I still gotta figure this out. Because, okay, so there's the heart is there, right? So it seems like there's something with that and shadow. And, so saying, so this card somehow connecting to this card. We'll get to this card right after I get to this despicable face here. So that's 48, I think. 48. What is hidden, unacceptable, shamed? The despicable face is never seen, rather it is kept in hiding to save outward appearances. This card appears when something below the surface wants to be witnessed in order to be transformed. Everyone has their own version of the despicable face and their own reasons for assuming it is an abomination. It could be buried resentment and insecurity, or a physical characteristic that holds us back from expressing our true self. Remarkably, once revealed, it is not despicable at all. It is human. It is interesting. What once was thought of as an error becomes an asset of our journey of the alchemical transformation. This card connects us to others and to humanity as a whole. Through acceptance, we lift the veil of perfection and reclaim our energy. Honesty and acceptance are the balm that heals the most tender of wounds. When this card appears, it is important to notice what company surrounds you. Those who see and accept all sides of you are true alchemical allies. This card may indicate fear of failure. Some are afraid to make a mess if they never look up anything in the laboratory. Try. The mess is alchemy underway. I got a message saying my battery's low. Yeah, which I do see, yeah, tying back into this card. Society, industry, what was I thinking? Yeah, I said, soul essence. So yeah, I can kind of see these two cards fitting together, and that. But even, you know, like everyone has this face, like yeah, I'm one of those, like, you can't eliminate, like, you need an ego to be here, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, it's talking about shame. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, there's something with shame. I'm still trying to learn this because I feel like there's something with this. Shame, what was it? Shame, embarrassment, and what was the third one? I can't remember right now. There's something with that, yeah, and in the shadows of the emotions. Okay, so I said I'll get to this one. I want to try to hurry this up. I said my battery's low. I don't know how low. So, like, where's the book? It's right here. I made a mess over here. Era of Shadow. So, here we go. We got it here. As the interconnected intelligence falls into denial, it scares itself away from empowerment. Dark thoughts and frightful suspicions that tumble into a self-perpetuating startlement and keep us from standing in our power and facing the unknown. This card indicates how one can interpret the mysterious in a negative way and thereby elicit a narrative that scares us from our throne. Yeah, I keep on pointing this card like, lion, gotta be the lion. Not this shadow card, but, you know, the lion. When day or nightmares find their way to me, the sheer shock of their presence is often enough to keep me from positive action. Fear is a completely overwhelming energy that requires a truly heroic mood to face without a fight or flight response. When we can see through the narrative that got us all worked up, we then can find a new description that unites instead of divides. Until then, this too shall pass. What fears do I nurture that keep me from my power? What, yeah, like I said, I think I said that already. Like, yeah, it's like stepping out of, like, what you've already always known or what other, you know, is scary. And like, even seeing your potential or your soul essence or whatever is also scary. Shadow of fire, and that's probably what this one's probably gonna go more in about, like being kind of afraid of, you know, well, there's the opposite. Fire of shadow. We don't want fire of shadow. That's what fire of shadow looks like. We want shadow of fire. Yeah, I get confused. I'm looking for the card. Okay. Shadow inflammatory response. So yeah, the solar plexus, Okay, I'm gonna read. As a shadow consumes the driving will, blind, compulsive aggravation erupts. Okay. Being a part of the problem rather than the solution, aggravating the situation because of a lack of self-control. A card that speaks to an unconscious pattern impulse to make things worse, usually to justify our perspective of how bad we think things are. Listening for and interpreting things in such a way that offends me, then mirroring what I perceive with a secret impulse to escalate. It is no small task to de-escalate my responses, especially when I'm feeling that another has crossed a boundary or in some way attempted to impose upon me their reality. In what ways can I keep from causing further dramatic escalation? That kind of took a different, yeah, this whole, thing I've been dealing with, like, I feel like people are working subconsciously and somehow, like, subconsciously pushing your buttons. And then you can see, like, how others react. Yeah, justifying their behavior, and I know it's a two-way street. And then a lot of things. And I still have to think about this stuff, like how they're like, okay, what you see is like what's going on internally, like everything's like a mirror to you. Like, I don't. I'm gonna go to the next one. So it's just So yeah, I think last time I pulled this card might have been last spring when I was talking about light bodies, maybe. So okay, so let me go to this card here, Celestial of Earth, which I said was the third eye chakra of Earth, root. Celestial of Earth. Sorry, I'm getting there. I should put numbers on these cards. It's so hard to find. There we go. As the celestial energies embody into the earth energies, they inform an intricate inquiry into one's form. The body as cosmos, personal well-being, and the connection between body and mind. This card is an awareness of the inner and outer cycles of life and how they play out over time. It is a tuning into the body and asking for its wisdom, not just for health, but also for the magical dream senses which it has access to, but which society has covered over with mechanical objectivity. I am taking life in, I am chewing on it, I am swallowing it down, I am digesting these experiences and casting out the parts that do not serve me. I take my rest and find myself in other worlds where my body is made of light. When I return, it is easy to dismiss, except that my body remembers and invites me to let the wisdom in. What is my body telling me about life right now? 35 minutes and I haven't even gotten to these. Yeah, let's just go through. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I haven't really talked about these at all here. So this book here has realms, gods, goddesses, angels, creatures. So we have a creature card and a goddess card. So this card is Is it the last card? 145. Looks like it's the last card, at least in the book. They're not numbered. Was once a human, but transformed into a spiritual entity by enduring the extremes of hunger, cold, and isolation. Although this being was born out of existential hardship, it carries its transformative abilities beyond human comprehension. It can transcend time and space, navigate different phases of existence, and shapeshift according to the situation at hand. When Wendigo's gifts are deeply rooted in resilience, adaptability, and understanding the complex webs of cause and effect. However, the Wendigo also represents the shadow side of transformation, the temptation to succumb to your lower impulses and lose sight of your higher purpose. It reminds you that you always have a choice, and each choice has consequences that shape your life and destiny. When Wendigo challenges you to face your fears, desires, and attachments, and to find liberation by confronting your shadows, in turn, you can heal and integrate them into your wholeness. Serves as a symbol of metamorphosis, both light and dark. It urges you to acknowledge the temporary nature of each life phase, encouraging you to shed what burdens you and embrace the promise of new beginnings. A creature born of old stories and new insights, it stands as a steadfast ally or formidable adversary on the challenging yet rewarding path of self-discovery and transformation. I wonder how many of the cards talk about shadow, because we got shadow, 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 and I tied this with shadow. Yeah, so it just seems like this reading is more, yeah, Goddess of Medicine. Let's go to Goddess of Medicine. All right. In the beginning, the world was in chaos, and the people suffered from disease and pain. The sacred universal Goddess of Medicine emerged from the heart of nature. Her body adorned with herbs and flowers, and her eyes the color of the night sky. She brought with her the power of healing, and her touch brought instant relief to those in need. So I guess I'll just read her. Okay, it says, she found a kindred spirit in the non-binary god of memory, who has the ability to recall the secrets of the natural world. Together they work their sacred magic, blending the knowledge of the past with the power of the present to create healing medicines. The Goddess of Medicine rules the realm of mirrors, where she appears to those in need of her healing powers, and often the realm's sacred medicinal nectar, giving them the strength to overcome all their pain and illness. With her love and her powerful healing abilities, the sacred universal Goddess of Medicine has become a symbol of hope and health for all, and she is here to serve you your first cup of medicine. We're just gonna go into these, and then, yeah, no summary. I'm just gonna end it. I'm getting tired. I don't know how much when my device, okay, it's still on. It's funny, I'm still talking this off. So survival is an earth card. So pentacles, let's just go to the meaning. The situation portrayed by the card is the instinct to survive. The pollution may be in one's domicile or even in the mind itself. Yeah, within both there is the potent desire to survive at all costs. The indication is that the positive will always triumph, whatever the odds, and that this realization, even in appalling situations, is itself the seed of the cure. Okay. Then let's go to the Castles in the Clouds 30. Air card. High up in the clouds of the mind sky, a turreted fairy tale castle of stone is seen floating. The cloud represents a screen on which the vision of self is projected, the castle itself being the manifestation of hopes and aspirations of the questioner. It is the home of the skywalkers, those aspects of personality which derive energy from the power of fantasy. This card represents an alternative reality to the mundane world, for the stones of the castles are made out of the subtle mind stuff, the material of the imagination. Meaning, follow through your deepest wishes with the power of the will. Do not allow any bodily laziness to prevent inner desires from becoming realities. This card suggests a vivid imagination, particularly when it falls in the throat center of Tree of Life chart. But coupled with a lack of creative fulfillment or a difficulty in communication with others. Okay, so we didn't do this. The Magic Carpet is also an air card. 27 Magic Carpet. Transport in the literal or spiritual sense can indicate a change of residence, especially if it is in the base center. Otherwise, a development of the faculties of imagination, of visualization, particularly if located in the throat or head. Yeah, I showed this before. There's 4 Buddhas, one at each corner of the carpet. Guardians of the 4 direction. The mystic circle of psychic protection. These Buddhas represent the ecstasy of the transport out of the physical body and indicate the formalization or crystallization of the powers of visualization. Let's go to 57 Temptation, then I'm going to end the video. So this is an Earth card, a snake representing the tempter or the tempted pokes ahead with extended tongue between 2 apples, symbolizing earthly temptation and the divine apple of cosmic knowledge. A situation is shown where a choice has to be made between 2 things, here depicted as identical images, mirrored aspects of each other. It is that which is below is as that which is above. At the same time, here the snake represents a kundalini sexual energy having to choose ascent to the head or descent to the base, so invoking divine wisdom or earthly power. Meaning, a tempting offer, yet a decision has to be made, which should be based on the highest motivations. A situation where one has the chance to gain much if the correct standpoint is maintained. I'm curious. Is that the second card of the Earth cards? Because I wonder if that would have been like the 2 of Pentacles or something. Oh, what am I doing? 57. I'm just gonna see, because there's 10 of Earth, 10 cards for each element, but it doesn't say like 2 of Pentacles. But if it's the second card of the Earth cards, I would think maybe 57. No. There's the first Earth card, Rose Garden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6 Earth card. That doesn't mean it's 6 of Pentacles, but yeah, I was trying to see. Okay, I'm gonna end the reading there. So I kind of want to do a summary, but I'm kind of tired, and I'm just like, yeah, working with air, the shadows, something about will, is this light body coming more to that? Yeah. All right, thank you for watching.